Most people don't realize how much stress they're carrying until it finally lifts. Think about those moments late at night when your body's exhausted, but your mind won't slow down. You replay every possible what-if scenario, a surprise bill, a broken car, a sudden expense you're not ready for. It's not just annoying, it's draining. Now imagine this. Nothing about your life changes overnight. Same job, same bills, same responsibilities. But you have $10,000 sitting quietly in your savings account. Not to spend, not to show off, just there. That single number changes more than people expect. A lot of people assume financial milestones are just vanity numbers, like checkpoints designed to make ordinary people feel behind. But there's a reason certain amounts matter. They don't matter because of what you can buy. They matter because of how they change your behavior, your stress level, and your decision making. And the first truly meaningful milestone isn't $100,000. It's not a million. It's $10,000. Before that point, money controls your decisions. After it, you start controlling your options. Let's talk about life without savings for a moment. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, every purchase requires calculation. You don't just buy groceries. You mentally negotiate with yourself. You don't accept invitations easily because you're doing math in your head. You don't plan long-term because short-term survival takes all your attention. Unexpected expenses don't feel inconvenient. They feel threatening. That kind of pressure forces you into constant defense mode. You're reacting instead of planning. And when you're stuck reacting, it's nearly impossible to move forward. But something subtle shifts when you cross that $10,000 mark. You don't suddenly become reckless. You don't start buying luxury items. Most people don't even change their lifestyle much at all. What changes is how safe your decisions feel. When you have no savings, even small risks feel dangerous. Changing jobs, learning a new skill, relocating, or investing in yourself all feel like gambles you can't afford to take. With $10,000 saved, those same choices feel manageable. You're still careful, but you're no longer trapped by fear. That cushion gives you permission to think beyond next week. It gives you the confidence to ask for better pay, say no to bad situations, and invest in opportunities that used to feel out of reach. There's also a physical side to this shift that people rarely talk about. Chronic money stress keeps your body in a constant state of alert. When you finally build a safety net, your nervous system calms down. You sleep better. You focus better. You're less reactive. Small problems stop feeling like emergencies. They spend it on opportunities. They use it to learn new skills, improve their income, relocate to better environments, or buy themselves time to make smarter career decisions. The money itself isn't what creates the change. Knowing it's there is. That knowledge changes how you show up in the world. You negotiate differently. You're less desperate. You're more willing to walk away from situations that don't serve you. That confidence alone often leads to better outcomes. Better jobs, better relationships, better decisions. Now let's address the part everyone worries about. If $10,000 sounds impossible right now, you're not broken, and you're not alone. The hardest part of saving isn't the amount. It's becoming the kind of person who saves consistently. People fail when they treat saving like a temporary challenge. They cut everything, burn out, and give up. People succeed when saving becomes part of their identity, something they do automatically, not something they suffer through. Once that identity shift happens, saving actually gets easier. The first $1,000 feels brutal. The next few come faster. By the time you're halfway there, momentum starts working for you instead of against you. There's also a practical reason $10,000 matters. Most financial emergencies fall well below that amount. Car repairs, medical bills, short-term job loss. These are the events that push people backward financially. Once you can absorb them, your life stops resetting every time something goes wrong. And that's when real progress begins. You stop seeing money as something that disappears every month. You start seeing it as a tool that expands your choices. That's usually when people become interested in investing. Not because they suddenly got smarter, but because they finally have space to think long-term. Here's a truth that surprises many people. Someone with $10,000 saved is often closer to financial freedom than someone earning double their income with nothing saved. Why? Because earning money matters, but keeping money is the real skill. That skill changes everything. Saving your first $10,000 doesn't make you rich. It gives you breathing room. And breathing room is the foundation of every smart financial move. So if your current balance feels discouraging, don't focus on the number. Focus on consistency. Start small. Stay steady. Pay attention to the person you're becoming along the way. Because the most valuable thing you gain from saving your first $10,000 isn't the money, it's control. There's a kind of stress that doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't always show up as panic or tears. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just a tight feeling in your chest when you lie down at night. You close your eyes, but your brain refuses to shut off. You start running through scenarios you hope never happen. What if the car breaks down? What if there's a medical bill? What if something happens to your job? It's exhausting, and millions of people live like this every single day. Now imagine this. Nothing dramatic changes in your life. Same job, same bills, same responsibilities. But you have $10,000 saved, not to spend, not to flex, just sitting there. That number changes more than people realize. A lot of people think financial milestones are just arbitrary numbers, like someone picked them out of thin air to make everyone else feel behind. But the truth is, certain amounts of money create real psychological and practical shifts. And the first truly life-changing milestone for most people isn't six figures, it's $10,000. Let's be honest about what life feels like without savings. When you don't have a financial cushion, every decision feels heavier than it should. You're not just buying groceries, you're calculating. You're not just getting gas, you're checking your balance first. You're not just invited out, you're silently panicking about the cost. Unexpected expenses don't feel like problems. They feel like threats. A simple car issue can spiral into anxiety. A small medical bill can throw off your entire month. Even minor inconveniences start to feel dangerous when there's nothing to fall back on. That kind of pressure forces you into survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you don't plan for the future. You react to the present. You're constantly playing defense, trying not to fall behind. And when all your energy goes into avoiding disaster, growth becomes nearly impossible. Here's what surprises most people. Reaching $10,000 doesn't suddenly change how you spend. Most people don't upgrade their lifestyle. They don't start shopping differently. They don't feel rich. What changes is how safe life feels. You stop feeling like one mistake away from disaster. You still care about money, but you're no longer ruled by fear. That safety net doesn't make you reckless. It makes you calmer. And calm people make better decisions. When you have savings, decisions that once felt terrifying become manageable. Asking for a raise, switching jobs, moving to a better environment, investing in yourself. You're no longer forced to say yes to bad situations just because you're desperate. This isn't just mental, it's physical. Long-term financial stress keeps your body in a constant state of alert. Your nervous system never fully relaxes. You sleep lighter, you're more irritable, you're more reactive. When you finally build a financial buffer, something subtle but powerful happens. Your body relaxes. Small problems stop triggering panic responses. A warning light in your car becomes annoying, not terrifying. A bill becomes solvable, not overwhelming. That shift from panic to inconvenience may seem small, but it ripples into every area of life. You sleep better, you focus better, you perform better at work, you show up more patiently in relationships. Money stress leaks into everything, and removing it gives you mental space back. Here's something most people don't understand. The real power of $10,000 isn't spending it, it's knowing it's there. Most people who build a solid emergency fund don't actually use it for emergencies. They use it for opportunities. They invest in education. They change careers. They relocate. They buy time to make better decisions. The money itself rarely moves, but the confidence it creates changes everything. That confidence shows up in subtle ways. You negotiate differently. You're more willing to walk away from bad deals. You don't tolerate situations that don't serve you. That shift alone often leads to better outcomes. If $10,000 sounds overwhelming right now, that doesn't mean you're bad with money. The hardest part of saving isn't the amount, it's becoming someone who saves consistently. Most people fail because they treat saving like a temporary challenge. They go extreme, burn out, and quit. Successful savers don't do that. They change identity. They stop thinking, I'm trying to save, and start thinking, I'm someone who saves. Once that shift happens, decisions get easier. You notice waste you never noticed before. You become intentional without feeling deprived. Saving the first $1,000 is brutal. The next few come faster. Momentum builds quietly. There's also a simple math reason this number matters. Most financial emergencies fall well below $10,000. Car repairs, medical bills, temporary job loss, family emergencies. Once you can absorb these, your life stops resetting every time something goes wrong. You stop taking one step forward and two steps back. That's when progress sticks. Before savings, money feels scarce. Every dollar feels fragile. Spending feels permanent. After savings, money starts to feel like a tool. You begin to see how money can create options instead of just disappearing. That's when people naturally start thinking about investing, side income, and long-term planning. Not because they suddenly got smarter, but because they finally have space to think beyond survival. Here's a powerful truth. Someone with $10,000 saved is often closer to financial freedom than someone earning double their income with nothing saved. Why? Because the real skill isn't earning money, it's keeping money. When you have money in the bank, you carry yourself differently. You walk into job interviews without desperation. You negotiate with confidence. You're more selective with opportunities. That confidence often leads to better outcomes. Higher pay, better roles, and more control over your time. It creates a positive feedback loop. Saving your first $10,000 doesn't make you rich. It gives you breathing room. And breathing room is the foundation of every smart financial decision. When you're no longer gasping for financial air, you can think strategically instead of emotionally. You can optimize expenses. You can plan ahead. You can build. The most valuable thing you gain from saving $10,000 isn't the money, it's control. Control over your choices, control over your time, control over your future. And once you experience that level of control, you never look at money the same way again. Remember, building wealth isn't about getting rich fast. It's about making smart choices consistently. Stay patient, stay focused, and let your money work for you. Like the video, subscribe to Smart Money Friend, and I'll see you in the next one.